not to skip all over the place, but Andrade and Kenny. I mean, I really enjoyed that match because
Dave Meltzer didn't think so.
Oh,
what did he say?
You didn't see this? You didn't see this? We had a little exchange here on Twitter.
No.
Somebody find the Andrade tweet, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you.
Bro, can I tell you one thing that I did love real quick? You'll want to hear this. I was ringside, bro. They were blasting each other with some of those shots. Like, I was like, holy. And here's the other thing, bro. Flair, if you go back and watch, bro, it was so sweet. He was just smiling the whole time, like he was watching a really good match, and he was loving it, and he was just smiling and happy, and it made me happy. You know what I'm saying?
They worked a New Japan match. They worked a strong match, and it looked so good.
They brought it. They definitely brought it.
Well, and this is the thing that Di's talking about, because I heard it too, and I thought it was a little questionable. Because here's the thing, like a lot of people were saying heading into this that Andrade better have a great match, because truth be told, we know he's great.
He hasn't since he left WWE.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so the pressure was on because it's Kenny Omega, and if you can't have a great match with Kenny Omega,
who can you have one with?
Right. And I walked away from that thinking they had a great match. I love that.
They
match.
did.
All right, let me give you what Dave Meltzer said.
Okay.
Right.
This is relevant. Dave Meltzer said that it looked like to him that, like, I guess he wasn't very happy with the match because he said it looked like that Andrade went in there to just have an okay match, like a good match, and Kenny went in there to have a great match.
This is exactly.
He said that's to Dave. That was Dave's perception of the match.
I listened to it.
You listened to that, right?
He said. Read the Andrade tweet to that. Somebody played the clip for Andrade. Okay, like there's a clip online with Meltzer saying this. So what does Andrade say?
I have the exact quote from Dave here and the exact quote from Andrade. Dave said Kenny Omega and Andrade was not as good as the Christian Cage match. It was a good match, but not a great match. And just like Disco just said, it felt like Kenny was working to have a really great match, and it felt like Andrade was only working to have a good match. So Andrade responds, "That man hates me and will never speak well of me or my fiance, but all the fans love him for the garbage that comes out of his mouth. I'm a pro, and I showed it yesterday, and La Sombra is back to show everyone I'm better than waiting for a stupid star rating."
Let me ask you a question, Konnan. Do you see, like in this, because these guys are in very prominent positions now, okay, and the way Dave is he's very an important figure in professional wrestling. They even mentioned him on the AEW show now, right? Do you think it's problematic to like the performers in this business that Dave is so friendly with the EVPs of AEW to the point that he's kind of like praising them and kind of like even being critical of a performer like Andrade, trying to put these guys over? Do you think that perception? That there's at least a perception of that, and do you think it's problematic, or do you think it's an issue, or do you think it's just like nothing, or do you think there is something to that?
Okay, this is the only thing I can say. I've known Dave for a long time, and I just don't think that's the type of person he is, that he's just going to put them over because he's friendly with them, because he's friendly with me, and he's buried me a bunch.
All right, so because him, right?
Right.
But there's the perception of that. Which can't be ignored because, that's the bad thing. Yeah, right. So how do you explain to the guys, that Dave's criticizing and they think it's coming from a position? Well, he just puts over his friends.
Let me tell you why. Because do you know why? And let me tell you why.
It's a bad climate. Because look at Andrade.
You know why?
Go ahead.
Okay, because sometimes it's easier to believe your own narrative. And I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a good example. The big excuse I always hear, which is 1,000% is, Konnan won't use me because he don't like me. Bro, how I feel about you is irrelevant. If you're not a professional, I'm not going to with you. That's all there is to it. If you're a professional and I don't like you, I'm going to use you. I don't let my personal get in the way. So
you did business with Vampiro.
But it's easy.
It's like it's easy, right? There's a guy but it's with him, so it's like
it's easier for people to say, "Oh, well, he doesn't like me," instead of, "Okay, what can I do better to better myself?" You know what I'm saying? And so I think that might be the case there. You wanted to say something, Kevin?
Let me finish. Go ahead.
Because there's been few guys Miro has been very critical of Dave Meltzer, publicly. Andrade now, and these are upper guys in that company that are what I'm saying. It's like, and I just wonder if that creates If Dave
Obviously, it does.
Dave doesn't realize
Right.
that he's kind of throwing gasoline on the fire where there's no fire to be started.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you know. So that is. I wonder if Dave thinks that. If that's even crossed his mind. It's like, look, dude, like you're putting over AEW. Like the EVPs have named their finishing move after you, and it's very well known that you like these guys and are friendly with them.
Right.
It's like when you start, talking about people's work and their work ethic and relation to the guys that you're putting over. Like Andrade's kind of like, bro, it's like he's trying to say, like, bro, you listen to Dave's tweet. He's trying to say, hey, Kenny came to work and Andrade didn't.
And didn't, right.
That's right. And it's
That's
like
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
and Andrade has every reason to be pissed because let me tell you, I can tell you this because I was in the middle of it, right? Mm-hmm. Andrade was amped to fight Omega. Omega was amped to fight Andrade. Bro, they both told me, so I knew it was going to be a good match. They were happy. They wanted to have a good match. Andrade knew he's in there with the best. And Omega also knows he's in there with a stud. And they both came to work and they put on a good match. I was standing right. There's one match I saw was that one.
Right, because you're ringside. Like,
right.
You were one of the judges' scorecards. Right?
I watched it on Twitch, and I thought it was a very good match. I didn't see anything like Andrade's, going slow or mounted it or anything. It seemed like a great championship match.
Yeah, it felt very even keel for me. I felt like they were both. I listened to Dave, like not live, but I listened to the show the next day, and I was surprised by that comment. Also, because going back to what Di was kind of saying, though, they're both AEW superstars. Now, yes, granted, maybe it's because Kenny Omega, can't do any wrong, but I mean, I didn't see, and I didn't watch. It's very rare for me to sit and watch 3 hours of a show and watch it, but I watched that match. I did not turn away from that match. And I thought I was highly entertained by that match.
I thought that was unfair by Dave.
It is too, but is it a good response by Andrade to go public and make a comment like that?
But Andrade's young, and at his age, I might have done the same thing.
Right, exactly.
So he's young, and he's all these guys, bro. All they guys, you just see how many guys, and I've said this before, and it's a shoot. How many guys from AAA come to me with they read on Twitter or whatever, and I'm like, bro, you're melting over this guy. Who is he? Do you even know who he is? No, I don't know who he is. And then what the do you give a and I got to I'm
telling you, Dave needs to realize, dude, it's like in this climate, he's being very toxic. Yeah. And he is. This is creating a toxic atmosphere where you got guys, because, bro, once it's on Twitter, once somebody with a blue check mark that's got a lot of followers, posts up there and everything, it's got everybody's attention. You know what I'm saying?
Not just that.
And it's like
it's Meltzer and everybody reads him, so.
Yeah. And it's funny that this is fascinating to me. Dave's got 200-something thousand followers. He's never been verified either on Twitter. You notice his Twitter handle, right?
I think he's an alien.
That's everybody keeps saying, "Well, you're going to get a blue check mark." To me, and I'm like, "Well, Meltzer
the check mark, the check marks are for Earthlings." Yeah,
if you're not going to verify Meltzer before me, it's like I don't want to be verified. It's like he's got more clout in the business than I do today. So.